5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, everyone. I am back once again. Ikimasu. Thank you very much. So, I'm gonna do a little quick chat. Feel chat out for a second. So, was originally my bonus run and got shifted to accepted. So, I've been talking with I'm a Real Boy San all day, and I want to ask chat if they would like to see a character that has farting as its main ability, or for setups, or see a character that's going to turn the enemy into a chibi, basically a small kid version of themselves. The reason I asked this is because uh, I had I had so much time to practice today that I was practicing on and off today, and I actually found out something that's really broken with the chibi character. It just kind of had that moment where like something clicks in your brain. So if we want to see a guaranteed world record, we can see that. Or if you want to see something that could be a high score, um, it has the potential to beat that record. But I just wanted to leave it up to chat to see what kind of mood people are in. Because the way this game works, so this is Ninku. And Ninku is the actual, I wouldn't say precursor, but it's what inspired Naruto. So, except there, show me Mr. Farty Pants. Okay, I will show Mr. Farty Pants. And you want to see the Chibi one? Okay, here's the thing. I submitted a 30-minute run. So, the Chibi one is actually stupidly fast. So, I think if we can beat it in 10 minutes, I can do the next run. And I could do both. Originally, I did not know that I was going to be able to get the time down so far. So, I think I'll do that. If I can't, it's not. It's chat's choice. Right now it's 1-1, but we'll do Farty Pants because that's what I submitted. But this is a game that has gag attacks, so they're actually labeled gag attacks in the actual book, and you have super gag attacks too, as well as you have your normal super moves and your normal attacks and your normal special moves. Now, the thing is, this game is extremely, well, obviously it's an Obscurathon, it's obscure, but it's not your normal like fighting game. There seem to be certain moves that have a lot of plus, which means I basically can move after, and then there's other moves that have a ton of minus, which means I might actually lose a ton of frames. I want to see Chibi into fart. That sounds fun. Okay, all right, we'll do Chibi first, because that'll actually be world record. The record is, the record's too stupid. I haven't done this live. In fact, I just figured this out like an hour and a half ago while I was watching Kefka-san's run. I was like, I was like taking notes on the game he's running, and then I was like pressing buttons, and I'm like, notice something very interesting about my character, which you will too. So, having said that, let's get started with Ninku. So the character that's broken, of course, is the boss character Cochin. Now, I thought Cochin was kind of like he was like high mid. It was like okay character. No, this character is absolutely insane, and I will show you why. So we'll do this. All right. By the way, there are actually no other speedrunners on all the Ninku games. Ninku is so obscure of an anime and a game that this is I'm the only runner for all of them. And I didn't find out about Ninku. Yes. All right. So yes, if I had actually gone earlier when I scheduled, we might have not found this, but this literally was found a few hours ago. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. So, yes, Cochin. Cochin is the boss character of the game, but they're actually really strong characters in the game. Everyone in this game has really, really cheap techniques. We're actually fighting Aicho-san, who has got air. He can basically fly in the air infinitely like Superman. But it doesn't matter when you have this character who, well, I didn't think about it before, but my fireball is really good. It builds a lot of meter. Except, I didn't think the super was that good, so it's like, oh, you have to use it when you're close. Then I realized, oh, wait a second. This is a character who can instantly get right next to the opponent. So, if he so chooses to. So we did a little rush combo there. So we're not going to use the gag super right now, but the gag super is coming out. By the way, gag supers actually do damage in this game, but the main thing that gag attacks actually do is reduce the enemy's spirit gauge. So you'll see mine is blinking right now. Oh, I'm getting thrown a little bit. Alright, so here's the gag super. So yes, I've turned Aicho-san into a mini version of self. And I just was basically able to hit him 4 times. I wasn't able to do quite what I wanted to in that second. Went with a little DP. Or crouching light, since he didn't move. So this game has a normal standard ABC attack. I am playing on the Saturn. And I'm using a typical Saturn control. I do have a Saturn arcade stick, but I haven't practiced on that, so I haven't switched over. However, it has the standard inputs of quarter circle forward, half circle back, down, forward, down, forward, DP attacks. Now, most characters in the game, they have really silly or long-range gag attacks, but Cochin's kind of silly because he just has some good priority on stuff, and you kind of have to respect the super. But actually, there's another character, Kisame, later, who will come out. So this is the character I would have been using right now with the farts. So you get to see the chibi on fart action. And you can see my fireball actually does a lot of chip damage. So the normal average clear time, by the way, with characters is about 30 seconds. But we're going to actually end up getting probably some 40. I had a 45 clear time. Now, technically, if you're really good with super fart, you can get some really good times, but it's not guaranteed, and that's the problem. When you're playing a fighting game, you can ask Kefka-san and some of the other writers here. You are looking for consistency when you play a fighting game. You want to make sure that you can always get that one attack that's going to do a ridiculous amount of damage. Of course, the fart man is giving me some trouble. There we go. Fireball, by the way, also comes out frame 1. So even if I get attacked, Fireball is still coming out. Yeah, another reason this game, I think, it remained obscure is that the emulation for it is not good. And a copy for this game tends to run pricey. I got really lucky. I won this in an auction. There is, yes, there is. No, this is a game that I really actually think is fun. It's just one of those games where there seems to be limited copies, and Ninku itself is extremely obscure. Most people, in fact, I'm sure chat said, "What is Ninku?" But no, it's a long-running series actually. I'm not too familiar with the anime itself, but yes, it's apparently got a lot of fame here in Japan. I just didn't grow up with it, so I never really thought about it. We're gonna use our Dimitri dive kick there and just do some dirty spacing. But now we have meter for the next round, so I'm hoping to show off the chibi loop at least once during this. All right, here's the first chibi loop. So even though the enemy can attack us when they're chibi form, the reason why it's so broken is that they don't have knockdown. So other games, if you're playing like and Akarius or some other characters, when they turn your character into chibi, because there's lots of other examples, I'm sure people could give a whole list, that character usually gets knocked down on one hit. Even Red Earth, there's some attacks that turn you into chibi mode, but this is over the top, because the character is in that form for way too long, and you can actually do probably some special combos to the character, although I'm just going to do crouching roundhouse or standing medium to try and catch them if they jump back. Alright. By the way, the music in this game, pretty awesome. We're coming up on Fusuke's stage, who's the main character of Ninku. It's not actually Ninku. Ninku is just the name. And yeah, this is the hardest fight because, of course, an unbalanced fighting game has a character that is, well, short-sized. So, because of that, there's a lot we have trouble with. So our fireballs are going to completely miss. However, even though chibi form Fusuke only gets a little bit smaller, it doesn't really matter because, well, you see, even though I use the chibi form on him, he retains the property of not being able to be knocked down. Didn't really decrease in size. Not a noticeable amount. Now, Fusuke has a really good DP, but it doesn't matter if you block once against this character, you're going to get hit. There we go, 36. Microscopic? No, that would have been funny. I think he changed it slightly, but, I mean, Fusuke is already so small, it's just goofy. But there actually is a chibi secret code in this game where you can fight as the chibi characters. So I might actually look into doing a run for that. It's a special command you have to enter at the beginning of the menu, and then I think you lose out on certain attacks. I don't think you can do all your attacks, but yeah, in chibi form you can actually do some interesting things. But again, because you don't get knocked down, the game becomes extra silly in my opinion. This is the other third character that I think was pretty good when I was routing. He can actually just make it rain. That's his gag attack. And no matter where you are on the map, you will get hit. So it's a full screen rain attack. He actually pulls out an umbrella and will make it rain on you. But overall, I don't think Ajirada is like a very good character. He's still a grappler. Grapplers tend to have harder times in fighting games. Let's try and get the throw on. All right, chibi form. There we go. 41, that's really good. So it's pretty cool that the last time I ran this game at an event, I had figured something out before, and then now before this event, I actually figured out something even more broken. So, you know, a lot of people in this marathon are running obscure games. I know for one, I've already got a list of games that I need to get because I actually want to help route the game or run the game. The Quiet Man? I already forget the name of that game, the beat 'em up. There were just so many good games in this marathon that I can't wait to just run it for fun. And it seems like there's always a really cool community Obscurathon. People are submitting games of the month. I'm still a little confused on what all that means, but yeah, I think it's cool that there's a community for all of this. have to be a little careful because her shoe is actually rolling down at me. And she's got a little bit of a crazy DP, but we'll go ahead and get the victory right there. Make him passive for the lulz. It'd be cool if he could do that. He does have this like Cabbage Patch looking zombie hand that can come out and attack characters when you're low. And I noticed that when he uses chibi form, that's usually what happens. Oh, that's a nice hitbox. And there you go, re-chibi. That is the broken setup right there. Guaranteed KO. Yep, you get to pop out of chibi form to just go right back into it because there's zero lag on that. It is frame 1. If you are standing next to me and I do my ultimate gag attack, you get hit. Some of the other really funny gag attacks in this game. So you probably saw for a second, but she threw her shoe up in the air. The shoe actually stays on the screen for a long time. Some of the other funny gag attacks are Kisumi-san's attack. His ultimate, he normally throws down ice, but for his ultimate gag, he'll throw a piano on the screen. Fusuke has like a runny nose. He's the weirdest one, but it's just kind of gross. And then obviously our fart man has the farts. The Aicho has basically doing head dives, like in the middle of his attacks he'll just slam his own face into the ground. And yeah, there's a bunch of other secret moves. So if you're interested in playing a funny game on your stream, I definitely recommend this one. There's a shorty. We're gonna try and get the chibi form to go off. Yep, we got it. Getting hit drains our meter. We don't want to get hit too much. But we'll take the victory right here. 39. Yes, the final fight, by the way, will be Cochin versus Cochin. I guess we shouldn't be surprised that the boss character is the most broken character. Obscure Game of the Month. Every month they do what's the... There's generally 4. Sometimes people play them for longer. Often people submit the games. If it gets people to run those games more, then I think that's great. And even just seeing some of the names, I've been in that Discord a long time now, I think, and I've just always will go around to that list and be like, oh, these are some extremely good games. I'm surprised people know about these. And sometimes I'm just like, huh? What is this game? So I think it's great that there's support. Oh my gosh. Now he has access to his ultimate, so I do have to be a little bit careful. But the boss version is not any different. I did try and turn it into chibi form, but I wasn't able to get there. Actually, we've never seen Cochin's chibi form. Yes, what does your chibi form look like? Now I'm actually extremely curious. Oh, snap! I got hit with it. Okay, at least someone got hit with it. It's extremely goofy. Ooh. I'll be a little bit careful here. I don't want to feed AI too much energy. We'll do a little bit of a cheese here. We can do air fireball, and that's GG. 1450, that is the new world record for this game, and the new strat. So I think that it's possibly a bit faster with the farts, but again, you have to be very, very, very precise. He does have his. Yes, he does still have his facial hair. A chibi means more like mini forms, so they're not becoming kids necessarily. They're just becoming miniature versions of themselves, which I guess is why Fusuke-san doesn't look any different. Yeah, only runner, but again, this is night and day, and I was just so excited to run this bonus game at the event. And yeah, it's funny how things work out. I would not have gotten to show off something as silly as this. But now officially the best strats in the game are making it rain, throwing farts on the screen, or turning... I did, yes. Yeah, Zerum Zone actually does have other runners, but they haven't submitted to the leaderboard. And there's other people who run that game. The Super Chinese Fighter, I think, is just that obscure where people are like, how do I get this game, or where do I get it? But I'm already excited for like the next Obscurathon, and I'm thinking in my brain like, okay, what are some games we could run? And maybe they'll what's it? The Quiet Man, yeah. If there's an MVP, I just yeah. It's rare, but again, it's because no one really plays these games, so which is sad. Like I said, I think all these games have merit. I don't like to submit bad games to this marathon. Everything I submitted, I actually really enjoy. I think this is a good game. I think it's actually fun to play. It's very unique. All the games are, and I think that's, for one reason or another, these games become obscure, not necessarily because no one like wanted to play them. It's because they probably didn't have a chance. Or, I mean, the Sega Saturn already is obscure, so just that alone didn't help. And then this is a Japanese only, and it's based on an anime that basically no one outside of Japan, even in Japan, there's a lot of people who in the newer generation don't know about this game. So there's nothing to tell you, hey, play this game. And it has the most generic cover. Anyway, that's been my run. I mean, if we want to show farts, I can. Otherwise, I'll let the setup block continue. I'm glad I was able to show off obscure runs. I'm glad I was able to watch so many good runs in Obscurathon 2 this year. Yes, this is a Saturn game, yeah. And I'm running on the actual hardware, so. Unfortunately, emulation for the Saturn is lacking a lot of things. Even though there's games that can be emulated, there's still a lot that have issues. And this is one of those games. It could be because of the way the camera works or the scrolling background. I'm not sure. But there also seems to be some weird slowdown and things. Yeah. It's not all. It's getting better. Not too much. Not too much attention. I'm a real boy-san. What am I doing? Am I doing farts, or should we end it on that note? I'm good either way. We actually technically got to see Chibi versus farts, so. Yeah, but shout-outs to everybody in the marathon. There's actually so many good games. So if anyone's tuning in now, because we're going to have a large setup block, there are, I mean, Super Inefficient Golf was another one. that was just goofy. We had Mamono Hunter Yoko in the marathon, which was crazy. I think that one's like less obscure now, but the fact that it's here is a real treat. Ultima is definitely obscure. I had never heard of Nicktoons. There's just so many good games. So yeah, this is easily become one of my favorite events to watch. I'm just waiting to get a signal about what to do. Well, if we're waiting and I'm not being pulled off stream yet, I'll do some farts. I'll, I'll, I'll do, since my estimate was 30 minutes. Yeah. I didn't know if that meant obscure. For me, obscure meant that it doesn't just not only have a few speedrunners, but it's a game where you scratch your head and you go, oh, what system was that for? What game that for? And that's pretty much the majority of these games. Some of them I only knew because I did ran a research for Anime Speedruns Festival or for fighting game events, so I knew those. But if I had never done those events, I would have never known about those games. All right, we'll do some farting. I'm gonna do some farting. And then I'll actually call it, because then I'll be overestimate if I go beyond that. But yeah, farting also is really good. It is extremely interesting, and it's I feel like it'd be. I wonder if there's a way we can even have like a discussion block maybe next time or something, because I would like to hear why some of these games are obscure. Like it seems like some of these games, either there was no advertising, or they were pulled, or they just, quote unquote fell through the cracks. But there's always a story behind that. I mean, I never heard of The Quiet Man, and that was a game released by Square Enix, so they must have just buried that game. Like, oh, no one better find out what we did here, But then there's games like Ultima, where I just think that time has kind of obscured those games. But Ultima was an extremely popular game, back in the day. And actually, when I ran the Game Boy versions of Ninku, there were other like Japanese runner coming to my channel being like, "Oh, Ninku, you like Ninku? You play this game? This is so nostalgic for me." And I was like, "Oh, is it?" I was just doing research on like games and random fighting games, and I found this. And then there's even obscurity with Ninku, because the Ninku anime was never, I think it was like never finished or something. Like it didn't have like a real ending. It was like cut off. So that's a game that is just beyond obscurity. There you go, fall into my farts. So farts, by the way, the reason they're so good is that it's a disjointed hitbox from my actual character, so I can actually move after fart comes out. So we did this during the Speedy Fist, and I as a joke, I used it to explain how to speedrun fighting games and about like frame traps and things like that. So yes, the reason this character is so good is because it does suck. It's odd too. But the whole character of Naruto is literally a a love letter to Fusuke and the Ninku crew, and a lot of the stuff is from that show is referenced there. And the more I dived into it, I was like, oh, wow, this is actually more like Naruto than I like. There's actually like ninja villages and things like that. Zillion, yeah. Zillion's another game that has a lot of love in Japan. So it's weird how the games themselves are obscure, but the series tend to have, the older fans are still there, almost waiting for the game they love to come to the forefront. We're going to go ahead and end it with the super fart here. Boom. Why don't you take a seat? Take a breath of sweet victory. So yeah, fart setup is it's OP, as you can see. You pretty much just have a button that is guaranteed victory. He has some of the best jump reach in the game. That's why I think he's probably faster than Cochin. I did switch it to easy, if only because I want to just make sure that I can clear this in time. But yeah, you can set off a normal fart and then move around the screen. So I really do think fart is OP. By the way, if I didn't mention the game that you run the marathon, there are so many, and obviously I wasn't able to watch every run, so I'll be going back, and I hope the VODs are up they'll probably be up soon. So I'm excited to go back through and watch them. Okay, that was a weird camera change. Yeah, so that's a gag attack, that little slide. But the gag attacks are very good because they actually set up for a lot of really silly things. Like that one just gives you hard knockdown, so. Try and space myself a little bit better here. Let's put out a fart just so we can maybe do some spacing. Ooh, there we go. I got the super attack. I don't know why a penguin is coming out and lighting my fart on fire, but thank you. Yeah, the penguin adds a hit too. So if you actually get the penguin to hit, it can actually juggle. You can get the full hits of the combo. Oof. Bet fart comes out frame 1, so I'm safe. Toji's grab also, he'll show his butt. If I'm able to do the grab, he'll moon everybody watching. Yes, all of them were good. The only reason I don't use that slam move is that little projectile is much better. Oh wow, using fart strats on me. I think it's funny they're called gag attacks because they're actually better than normal attacks because they take away the enemy's special gauge. And you can't do super special moves, or a lot of moves in this game are locked behind having full meter. Myself there. There we go. Force the AI to jump, and we'll take the victory. Why I'm in my tidy whities though, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm a sumo wrestler. This is I forget the name of this underwear. It's a Japanese style underwear. But there's other people in this game who wear normal clothes, so I don't really understand the the timeline of this game. Alright, we're gonna try and end with the super fart. Oh, just not that. Oh, feel free to write your smart fart jokes in the chat. I'm a little gassed out, so I can't think of any stinky ones right now. Washibashi, yes, yes, yes. Oof, there's that DP. This is actually my worst matchup, and then Fusuke is a lot easier to deal with. Alright, unfortunately I still have to deal with DPs, so nothing feels necessarily, what's the word, like free with this character. I still feel like I'm putting in a lot of work. This game is a piece of art. That's just Rekka punches when you have energy. I did that to just kind of make sure that I can put something out in the field. Oh, we should be able to get victory. Okay, I'll shut up now. I'm trying to think of other like fighting games where the characters are just this goofy. I feel kind of guilty because I haven't finished reading the series, but the characters are just, they're great. I mean, obviously I have the sense of humor of like a middle schooler, but just it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Again, that small hitbox. Don't you love games where they just put characters that size? They knew what they were doing. Excuse you. Oh, I tried to jump, but it actually forced my sprite back to the ground. That's interesting. Okay. Coming up on the last few, actually the last fight. Hippomean-san, thank you very much. Yes, there we go. Last fight versus Cochin-san. Now we just have to be careful for Cochin-san's DP. Actually, obviously we've seen what happens when we get close to him, but the DP is strong and will actually beat out Fart if we're not careful. So I really should just expect that it's going to happen. And we don't want the zombie cabbage to come out either. See, that's what happens when you block DP. You saw for a second, my sprite got stuck in the air. That's not normal. There's the DP. Again, we probably can get this DP to come out every time if we get close. We'll let out a nice fart here. And no DP. Okay, there we go. That's the first round. How many times I made a mistake. I didn't keep a fart counter. How many farts can you do before you like kill yourself actually? I would imagine it's a hazard to your own body to fart that much. Ooh, getting hit by fireballs. We can time out the boss here in this game. There's going to be a DP coming. Oh, no, let's end it with fart. There we go. That's time. 14:43. Almost a similar time. You can see what I mean, though. The power of farts and the power of chibi. They're both very similar. Maybe someone watching will decide there's a faster route. Alright, that is GG. That has been all the runs for me this event. I'm glad we exactly did this in the 30 minutes. So we brought the time down so much we were able to do 2 runs. I don't think it's going to get too much more now. It's just a matter of getting the better RNG. Thank you to Rickson who helped set me up yesterday. My time for runs, that was really awesome. I'm a real boy son for letting me in the marathon and just putting on this event. Speed Gaming, as always, is hosting great events, and I hope we get to do this again. I'll definitely be checking out Discord. If you have obscure games you like, be sure to just message me on Discord. I'll run them. If you interact with me, usually I'll run your game. That's the easiest way. You just be like, hey, you need to run this. Oh, okay. This is, especially if it's in my wheelhouse. If it's a fighting game, or a beat 'em up, or a combination between those two, I'm down for it. But I tend to like retro stuff, which is also seems to be a highlight of Obscurathon. Again, I think it's just comes with time where some of those things just kind of, just get buried under other games out there. And as far as other Ninku games, I don't think, if anyone's interested, I don't believe there's like 2 other Ninku games out there. So believe it or not, there's 5 or 6 maybe total. But you can always hop into the Anime Speedrun Discord and ask people there about the games as well, because there are other runners and routers for this game. GG's, thank you very much. And I'll see everyone in a few hours.
敗戦の最中、わずか数十名の部隊で帝国軍を壊滅寸前にまで追い詰めた集団があった。その名は任空隊。かろうじて戦争に勝利した帝国府は彼らの力を恐れ討伐に乗り出した。今 本当の人空を知る者は少ない。
Stream.
敗戦の最中、わずか数十名のわずか数十名の少ない。 大戦の最中、わずか数十名の部隊で帝国軍を壊滅寸前にまで追い詰めた集団があった。その名は人空隊。かろうじて戦争に勝利した帝国府は彼らの力を恐れ討伐に乗り出した。今本当の人空を知る者は少ない。大戦の最中、わずか数十名の部隊で帝国軍を壊滅寸前にまで追い詰めた集団があった。その名は人空隊。かろうじて戦争に勝利した帝国府は彼らの力を恐れ討伐に乗り出した。今本当の人空を知る者は少ない。 敗戦の最中、わずか数十名の部隊で帝国軍を壊滅寸前にまで追い詰めた集団があった。その名は人空隊。かろうじて戦争に勝利した帝国府は彼らの力を恐れ討伐に乗り出した。今本当の人空を知る者は少ない。
While I'm waiting, I'm just gonna do any percent. And I'm also live on my stream. Little unexpected, but we'll roll with it. Handicap.今イベント配信中で急になんか主催者が消えてしまう。なんか寝る時間かな。プレイヤーにハンディをつけることができます。数字を大きくするほど攻撃力が高くなる。同じ技